I'm David Hernandez, and I want to welcome you to the Old Bridge Votes Council Candidates 2025. On November 4th, Old Bridge residents will go to the polls to elect 6 candidates for the 6 ward seats on the Township Council. We're going to bring you interviews with all of the candidates here on Old Bridge TV. I will introduce each candidate, and they will have 1 minute to tell you something about themselves. Then I will ask questions about various topics. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to respond to a question, and each will have a 1-minute rebuttal. Before we begin, off camera, the candidates drew straws to determine who speaks first. In this segment, we will hear from our Ward 2 candidates. Our Ward 2 candidates comprise of our incumbent Darin Accettulli and the challenger Peter Shearer. Councilman Darin is a Republican and Peter Shearer is representing the Democrats. Before we came on camera, we did a straw draw and Peter won, so he will be speaking first on every question. So gentlemen, welcome to the segment. Looking forward to learning about you and your platforms, and let's go ahead and get started. So We'll be going over to you, Peter. Why don't you tell us about yourself?
Okay. I'm from Main Street. I ran my own business in the end, which meant that I had to listen to find out what the people wanted. I had to deliver the product on price, on time, in good working order. Eventually, I moved my business from Manhattan to my own building at South Amboy, which was quite a feat in moving all this stuff. And as in doing so, I actually converted an overhead expense into a savings account, because by paying off the building, we wound up accumulating money instead of giving it away. So this kind of savings is an important thing to me. I relied on, in order to do so, in order to be successful, I relied on a wide range of experience and education. I had unbelievable variety, unbelievable to myself when I really think about it, all the jobs I've had, from carpenter to brick factory to roof sales and so on, a corporate job in requisitioning, and my Bachelor of Science degree plus some not extracurricular, but post-grad courses, and then finally a 2-year program as an electronic tech gives me a big range of experience.
Well, thank you, Peter, for telling us about yourself and learning about it. Congrats on buying the building and creating equity.
Selling it was the good part.
That's it. And Councilman Darin, tell us about yourself and your background and accomplishments.
Absolutely. First, I want to thank you, David, for hosting this. We really appreciate that. My name is Darin Accettulli. I am currently a Ward 2 councilman. I'm married to my beautiful wife. I have 2 wonderful children that were born here in Old Bridge. I've been living here for about 21 years, and I absolutely love this town. I'm a former COO of the health club industry, former gym owner in Brooklyn and New Jersey. I also volunteered on the open space. I was a Saywood South girls softball coach, which was one of my favorite volunteer jobs in town. I also serve right now on the rec committee, and I was the VP for the HOA for Yardley Manor. I currently own my own business. I co-own a real estate company called Next Home Nations in town, and I absolutely love to play golf. And the best part about that is, in Ward 2, we have a golf course.
That's right.
What's better than that? I wake up and go right up the block, and I have a nice miniature golf course as well. So, this town to me is a place I call home, and I'm very excited to be a Ward 2 councilman. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and thank you for coaching. You know, I'm a middle school girls basketball coach, so I appreciate that very much. Very nice. And Peter, so let's start with our questions. And again, just for the format, we're going to ask each of you the same question, and then should the other gentleman wish to rebut the answers, you'll have that opportunity to do so. But Peter, why are you running?
I'm running mostly for let's say national reasons. I found that in previous years, the current administration, prior to Darin's involvement, was actually trying to use Old Bridge assets to join a lawsuit against Governor Murphy, and I consider it impossible to sue Town Hall, nonetheless to sue the governor. And I'm actually afraid that we may be losing our democracy and using Old Bridge assets to do so, whether it's this pilot program that kind of had a lot of damage on our budget in Old Bridge, or just speaking up and blaming things on Governor Murphy. It troubles me a lot. I find that there's an enormous amount of lying in the media. I don't know if Fox News viewers realize that Fox News had to pay out almost $1 billion because it was proven that they were lying to. They knew they were lying to people about Dominion voting system. So I do see a lot of room for improvement in Old Bridge. I find that there were a lot of facilities such as the climbing thing over at the high school that I don't see as used. It may have been built with good intentions. I'm worried about the water system. Water is the next critical infrastructure in the world, and if we give up our own water system to a for-profit organization, we may wind up being facing forever increasing charges. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Councilman Darin, why are you running again?
Sure. Well, I can't speak on the national level because I am the councilman of Ward 2, so I'm going to concentrate on Ward 2. Why am I running? Because I want to make a difference. I want to make an impact in my ward. I care about the residents. I care about their needs. For me, it's about them. You have to be a good listener, right? And what I've done, and I've walked around, I've been at many events. My daughters played softball. They played volleyball. My other daughter now plays volleyball. I said I go to grand openings, I knock on doors, and I always ask questions. And what's really important is what's important to them. What's important to Ward 2. So when you're running, I want to be the councilman that they can depend on. When they need something and they pick up the phone and it is a concern, I want to be the one that they can say, you know what, when that guy's walking up the block, he has my back. He tells the truth with integrity, with honesty, and the number one things he cares about is we the people. As an elected official, I think it's our job, especially local. National, I can't talk about national because I'm not running on the national stage. I am running in Old Bridge. And what's important to me is what's important to the residents. And you know what it is? A lot of people do a lot of talking. No, you have to do a lot of listening. That's why God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, in my opinion, because you have to listen. And the more you talk to people, you shake hands with people, you have a real heart-to-heart with people, and you connect with them, they're going to tell you. And if it's in my scope of work, in Ward 2, I will deliver on that promise. I promise you that, because Ward 2 is very important to me. And the concerns of the residents is what I'm there for. Thank you.
Peter, would you like to rebut?
I am likewise involved with the community, more the sailing community. I've arranged overseas bareboat sailing adventures with, all over the world. And in order to do so successfully, I had to listen. And when I was in business, I had to actually be very careful to listen to what the customers wanted. So I am not so involved with football and baseball and cheerleading and this and that, but I'm really more worried about the national scene, and again, that Old Bridge assets not be used for national issues, which I have seen happen. Thank you.
Thank you. Darin, would you like another opportunity?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Dave.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So, Peter, coming right back to you. As the challenger, what is the role of a ward council person, and how do you believe that is going to happen with you if you get to office?
Well, Ward 2 is kind of a centrally located ward. It has certain, gives it certain restrictions. So as things appear, issues appear on how and what to do, I would try to look at the advantages of the outlying areas and of the, the central area of my own. And the important thing is really to make the whole package work, that Ward 2 has to do what it can and rely on the other wards to do what they do, and to do it fairly. And the whole idea of there being wards is that somebody is everywhere. I am, tell you the truth, not as connected to our community since our daughter graduated. I think this thing is going a little crazy.
Continue. Yeah, we'll
So
I'll keep it on my phone here.
I am quite active. I do have, seats on the board of directors of 3 organizations, and I'm kind of busy, so I would have to give up some of these things to do this, which I will be glad to do. Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you, Peter. And I apologize for some of the dinging here. We have some technical difficulties with the clock, but I'll keep it here, and I'll keep an eye on you guys here. So, as a councilman, you've been a councilman. What has been your role? And then if you can also answer, what are you looking to do a little bit different this time around?
Sure. So the role of a council person, right, in the wards is we vote on local laws, we approve budgets, and we set, we set policy, right? That's just part of our job, right? The other part is number one, public safety, which is extremely important. I come from Brooklyn, New York, a little bit different. I grew up on the streets of Brooklyn, and at the end of the day, I wanted a little bit of a safer atmosphere. I grew up in subsidized housing with a single mom and my sister. We wanted to come out here to give my daughters a little bit more space, live in a suburb, right? Don't get me wrong, I love the city. I had a great time, but I wanted to give them something different, a little bit more space and a little less traffic, right? But as a council person, you're the advocate for the ward. What does that mean? Public safety, keeping taxes low, putting money, making sure that we invest in infrastructure, right, which is huge. Making sure, and this is really important, open and transparent with honesty. When people are looking towards you and you're in Ward 2, they need to know you're a man that they can trust. When you're walking up the block, I want people to know, when they turn around and they look at Darin Accettulli in Ward 2, I want them to say, that is the guy that delivers on his promises. That is a gentleman that when you ask him something, I have this policy, David, that when you email me or you call me, it's 24 hours. I call you back, I want you to know that your voice will be heard. And I think that's important as an elected official. They elected you to do a job, but I want to be friends. They're my neighbors, right? We say they're the residents, my colleagues, they're my neighbors. And I think love thy neighbor is really important, and I want to spread a little bit more of that. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Would you like to respond?
I'm fine. Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So moving on to the next question. Peter, what are your goals should you be elected into the Ward 2 position? And what is your vision for the ward? So we know that you have a care for the ward, you have this larger view, but what is the vision that you have for Ward 2, please?
I'm a resident of Old Bridge since 1985, so that's about 40 years. And we put our daughter through K through 12 here. We had quite a bit more connection to our local community when my daughter was around, but being a commuter to Manhattan for many years, I was not so involved. And now I am retired and successfully retired from a private business, which seems to be an accomplishment. I do have some more time, and I have other things. I would like to see that we don't buy certain things that we don't need. I'd like to utilize the gigantic fields behind the high school for something. I'd like to utilize the waterfront for something. I'd like to, consolidate maybe some of these functions with other towns. One of the first things I'd like to do is to take the distractions out of our education system, such as cell phones in the public school. I understand that some areas of New York are trying to do this, which is I just can't imagine with all the distractions that are provided by just being a young person, that the cell phone issue is a no-brainer. They should be taking that out of the schools. There are opportunities all around here to bring people to Old Bridge. I like the splash park over here on Cottrell, but I don't think that kind of spending brings more people to Old Bridge. I think something like a basic sailing program, which is my favorite hobby, would bring people here. And as things appear and as issues arise, I would deal with them. But yes, I have not been on the town council, and I do believe the council needs a fresh view and not such a not such a one vision.
Well, thank you. And Councilman Darin, what were some goals that you achieved while on, and then what is your vision moving forward?
So here's the best part. I can't speak about the water. I'm in Ward 2 or what's going on nationally. I'm just going to talk about locally. What I think is really important, David, is to keep doing kind of what we're doing. I mean, Eric DePalma was the former councilman. Mary Soha, been around for a long time, and they passed the torch to me. I mean, the way I look at it is, think about it. Taxes have stayed really low for the last 15 years. Public safety is absolute, and I'll tell you, what my goal is to make this the safest town in New Jersey. And currently, we've been ranked one of the safest towns in all of New Jersey to bring up the family. And that's really, my goal is to keep it that way. And I'll tell you something else in Ward 2, which I think is really important. There is, in Guy Park, they're going to be building, which I'm so excited about, Dave, a special needs park. It's going to be an inclusive park for special needs children. It means so much to me because if you realize 20% of our students are special needs, they're going to be able to go to a place, I get goosebumps thinking about this, Dave, go to a place where they can feel safe, they can feel accepted. And I want to get the parents involved, I want to get Scepter involved, because it's Ward 2. I got to concentrate on Ward 2 and what's important to them. So my goal, that one thing for sure, is something I want to get everybody involved, I want to be there for the grand opening, and I really want to see these kids shine because 20%, that's a lot of children, and I want to see those smiles on their faces. And number 2 is really keep taxes low, because keeping taxes low, and we all know, I'd like to, without question, keep taxes low so I can put more money in the taxpayers' pockets. That would be my vision moving forward for Ward 2.
Wonderful. Do you have any responses?
Yeah, I find that the taxes have increased. And when I moved into Old Bridge in 1985, the taxes were on my house, the same house I'm in now, were about $1,500 a year. And now they're roughly more or less $1,000 a month, which is a pretty big increase. A few years after I moved in, maybe in the late 80s, we got a call from the chief of police that he was trying to warn Old Bridge residents that bad things were going on in City Hall. And now I see the pilot program, and which is a 30-year pilot program, is just unheard of. It is a good idea to promote industry in the town, but 5 massive warehouses that are going to be spewing pollution and noise. Yeah, and noise and disrupting the traffic it should be something that massively lowers our taxes, because we're near a couple of highways that would be really good for the shippers to get in and out of a wide range of places. Not that they could use the parkway, but
and that is the time that we have on the road.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Would you like to respond to the warehouses?
So basically, if you look at the warehouses, right, I wasn't on council. When it first started, this agreement was made, I think, a while ago. And from my understanding right now, it's actually a tool that a lot of townships use to create revenue. It's actually a 30-year amortization. You get a certain amount of money, from what I gather, per square footage. So if you think about it, that is something that can stabilize taxes. All towns kind of use it. The alternative would be, do you want to build 10,000 homes? That's where you're going to get a lot of traffic. There'll be average 2 cars per house. Then you're going to get a lot of traffic. So what happens is we control overdevelopment, right? So basically, if you look at those warehouses, over the course of time, that's money that's given to us so we can stabilize taxes moving forward. And most towns use it as a tool. So either we do that, or you build homes, or you build units, and that's going to cause a lot of traffic, and that's going to cause a lot of stuff on Route 9, and that's going to be a drain on the Old Bridge residents.
Yep. And thank you, gentlemen, for your vision and your goals for Ward 2. I think it's very, very clearly articulated on both sides there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Peter, coming right back to you, while you're campaigning and you're meeting with your constituents and the residents within Ward 2, what are you hearing is the big things that they're asking?
I'm hearing that the taxes go up, have been going up, as is my experience. Myself, in our household, I don't actually pay the taxes, but I hear about them, and this is a major problem. I find that, a lot of the projects around that have been developed seemed like a good idea, like the snack bar at Paul's Beach over by the new police station on the waterfront. I've never seen it open. The climbing apparatus at the high school, not used. I've never seen I can't imagine that all those soccer fields behind Guyke Park have been used, and I wonder how they might be used. There's a lot of things that, you just have to say, gee, this would be nice, but is it really what we can afford? And I would think that, you should know what you can afford, especially if, people are on the board. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, I've been campaigning for a long time now, and while I'm on the campaign trail and knocking on hundreds and thousands of doors and speaking to residents consistently, I hear one thing. They absolutely love the town. They absolutely love this town, right? But they did the tax increase over the last 2 years has been serious. Mm-hmm. But let me clarify that for you. The township only increased, we kept under the 2%. There's two taxes. There's the municipal tax and the Board of Ed. We get 16 cents on the dollar. The Board of Ed gets 60 cents on the dollar. The last 2 years, out of nowhere, the state decided we're not going to give state aid to the school system. Where did that come from? All of a sudden, you want to short $10 million last year, $18 million last year, and then you want to say, charge the taxpayers. So then the taxpayers have to fund the schools. I mean, you're talking about a 13.4% increase. I mean, in 2018, the budget in New Jersey was $32 billion. It is now $60 billion. And I actually called the office and spoke to Senator Gopal's assistant, and I asked him, how come we're up 40%? They exactly said to me, let me ask you a question, Mr. Councilman Accettulli. Did your home prices go up 40%? I said, but didn't all of New Jersey go up 40%? And they said, then you could afford to pay for it. And then I turned around and said, ma'am, with all due respect, anybody in your office, did their paycheck go up 40%? She goes, no, it goes up about 2 to 3% a year. I said, that's my point. Not everybody's selling their home. This is unsustainable to continue to burden the taxpayers with the state aid for the Board of Ed, and it's not right. We care about the kids, and I guarantee we love the kids, and they want a proper education. But if you're going to increase taxes, which the municipal tax did not increase, it's very small, under the 2% tax over the last 15 years, the state aid, that administration decided that we're just not going to give it to you. And I think it's astounding that on the last minute they do that and say, you know what, you can charge the taxpayers. And that's why the tax increase on that side of that Board of Ed, that's why it went up. I just wanted to clear that. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Would you like to respond, Peter?
I find that Old Bridge, if you would examine the budget of a lot of different townships and you would compare why there's, how much each town is spending based on either area or the number of people and so on and so forth, you'd have to examine where Old Bridge is spending much more than other townships. And I consider it, I really don't know because I'm not on the board, but I would consider it very surprising to find that Old Bridge has 20% in special ed. Then something is wrong with the water or the air or the foods or whatever, which may or may not be the problem or the fault of Old Bridge. I would, if we have so many special ed kids, I would seek to ramp it up actually in scale to get an economy of scale to lower the price per student, and that would maybe draw in more students from other towns rather than trying to get more families with special ed kids on the town roll so that those out-of-towners would offset our costs per our students.
And that's our time on the rebuttal. Thank you very much. Would you like to respond
yes.
to?
I can't speak to any facts about the water. I got to speak on facts. You know why they have special, they love coming to this town? Because we have an incredible special needs program. They do a phenomenal job at the schools with the special needs children. SEPTA does an incredible job. We take care of these young kids. This is a place where they can call home. And it's really important that if we have these programs, I welcome them in Old Bridge. They're people too. They're children. They need love. They need an education. And you know what? They matter. I don't want them to move. I don't want them to go someplace else. If we have the programs to accommodate them and show them some love, don't we all agree they need that more than ever? So I'm an advocate because I believe every single person matters. And that's really important to me. Thank you, Dave.
And thank you. And right on time. So good job.
Yes, sir.
All right, gentlemen. As we have just a few more questions left, and then we'll be moving on to some closing statements. But Peter, as the challenger and potentially a opportunity for you to come into a council for the first time, how would you work with others, especially those with differing opinions than yourself, to be an effective councilman for Ward 2?
Okay. I'm on the board of directors of 3 longstanding sports clubs. And I've actually found that, you know, other people have really good ideas, and just because, you know, they're not me, I don't have to have what my own ideas. Sometimes I just listen to what other people to say on some issue before, you know, I chime in. When I make these worldwide sailing trips, we're living in close quarters with, let's say, 3 or 4 other couples on our boats. And you have to be able to listen and work with others. At the same time, I have found that from my experience with the Democrats on the board, Adina Brown has, you know, kind of dropped out. I feel that, you know, I didn't know at the time why. I thought she was a little oversensitive. Also, Kieran Desai is on the board for a number of years, and he was not eager to run again. And Jill DeCaro also was surprised that, you know, how things get done, that this pilot program was initiated. One day it was an issue, and the next thing it was settled. So I don't think it's the fault of the Democrats getting along. I think it was just other things being decided before Darin's time behind closed doors. Thank you.
Absolutely. So, Darin, I'm going to change the question a little bit.
Sure.
Because you are a councilman now.
Sure.
So what have you been able to do to effectively work with others across the aisle or with those on the council?
You know what, David? A good idea is a good idea, right? And that's how you brainstorm, right? I believe every day I wake up, my cup is empty. Learners are earners and readers are leaders. I wake up every day, I get up early in the morning, I put an Audible on because I'm always learning, we're always growing, we're always progressing, right? So if we go to the table and we have conversations, you know what? If you're the smartest person in the room, Dave, you're probably in the wrong room, right? So I love debating ideas. I love having conversations. And it's the idea that's the best idea for Ward 2. The best idea for this town, that's what we have to go with if it's in our scope of work. Because, you know what? We can debate ideas, Pete and myself, but you notice we didn't get personal one time. We talked about good ideas, what we're going to run. It was very casual, and it's what are you going to do for the people? It's when you go into people's personal life, leave that out of it. This is why America's so beautiful. Freedom of speech. We can debate ideas, have good kind of dialogue, and then after we can shake our hands and go back to our lives. And that's exciting to me because you know what it is? In this current landscape, what's really important, I believe, we're not here to save ourselves, David. We are here to save each other. And it gets me tripped up because I think we have to go back to that, and it's that important. Civil discourse, like me and my man Peter right here, good conversation, and I think we have to go back to that because it's not about us. It's about we the people.
Thank you. Peter.
Everybody, both of us seem to be willing to listen. I just don't know if that has been what's been happening over the years on the council. So, thank you.
Yeah. Gentlemen, I can tell you just from volunteering in this role a couple times and going through a few of these election cycles, it's refreshing to have these type of dialogues, to be able to talk about ideas and debate them. That's what democracy is all about, and that's what this whole election process is. And both of you have been absolute gentlemen through this entire process, so I thank you both for coming. So we're at the end here. We're at the end, so we get an opportunity for you to be able to give a closing statement, and then with the closing statement, if there's something that your opponent says that you might want to just have an opportunity, not so much of a rebuttal, but just to say something on, we'll give you that opportunity as well. So as our format's gone throughout, Peter, you'll get the first opportunity to have your closing statement. I'm going to start my clock here. I'll put it in the middle because we're having some of the technical difficulties here. We want to make sure everyone has the right opportunity and time. So, sir, please give us your closing statement.
Okay. My closing statement is that, you know, I apologize for not being such a good public speaker. And having only gotten these questions yesterday, I was not able to, you know, create a on-topic, timed presentation. But I will be posting more relevant information on my website. So if you want more information, if it really matters, the information, you can go to my website. Thank you. I find that if I am put on the council, just by myself, I can do little more than warn people about what's going on and what the issues are. But if we have a democratic council and maybe a more balanced council, we could probably get a much better government. The idea on the national issue is that absolute power corrupts absolutely. And I found just an enormous amount of lying. The fact checkers have kind of given up. They've lost count. So when I find that any of the council business supports Trump, I find that to be an enormous problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Darin, please
Sure.
give us your closing statement.
Absolutely. Well, it's pretty simple for me. For me, it's all about Ward 2. As your current councilman, I concentrate on my scope of work, my neighbors, and what's important to you. What I found what's really important to Ward 2, I'll say it, I know it's over and over again, public safety. I'm very close with the chief. We got a brand new chief named Thomas Montagna. He is absolutely phenomenal, gets things done pretty quickly. We want to make sure they're funded, making sure they're taken care of, also keeping taxes low to keep more money back in people's pocket. I do a little thing old school, and let me tell you what I mean. A lot of times we have the phones and we're kind of disconnected. I'm the kind of guy, I come from New York City and I moved to Jersey and I love it. I'm the kind of guy, I want to meet you where you are. You call me, you email me, you know what I do? If we talk over the phone, I come to your home. I visit my neighbors' homes. We sit down, David, we have a cup of coffee, we talk about family, we talk about personal situations, and I'm there to let them know you have a friend. You have somebody you can depend on. You have somebody that will always have your back and will deliver on his promises. And I think when you show up at their door, David, and you knock on their door, and I'm like, this isn't New York City where there's 8 million people. We have a small amount in Ward 2, so I feel it's really exciting. And they're like, you know what? You're the first person to come to my house. It's kind of exciting to see who my councilman is, knowing that I could put the email to the face. And when I leave, the best part about leaving, Dave, I want to leave my neighbors with a good feeling, knowing that Ward 2 is taken care of. I am your guy moving forward. And I'll tell you one thing, whether you're a Democrat, Independent, or Republican, every time you call and need something, I don't ask your affiliate. You know what I say? How can I help you today? Because you matter to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Would you like to respond?
No, I think I've said enough already. Thank you.
Okay. All right, gentlemen. Well, I want to once again thank you for taking time out. We know it's a busy season. It's coming right down to the wire here. November's just right around the corner. So we wish both of you best of luck in your respective campaigns. But again, Councilman Darin, Peter, we thank you for coming out and expressing your views. And again, being cordial, staying on topic, and sharing your vision with the residents of Old Bridge.
Thank you. David, I want to say thank you.
We thank you, gentlemen.
Peter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to say thank you to you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Really appreciate meeting you. All right?
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much,
gentlemen.
everyone.